expensive house that's been listed in Beverly Hills in Bel Air, California. This thing was listed for $178 million, you guys. So it's worth a shot, man. We at least got to try it out here, you guys. Come on. It looks like a damn jungle, man. It looks like a jungle we're walking up on. Hi, sir. Question for you. My name is James Dumoulin, and I started a social media channel at the University of Texas that I grew to 17 million followers. I go all over the world interviewing successful entrepreneurs and people to give their advice to the younger generation. Would love to ask you a question or two. Is that possible? Sir? He's coming down. No.
Hello.
How you doing, man? Question for you. Was that you I was talking to?
I know who you are.
You do?
I've seen you on YouTube.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
So I got bad news. The owner doesn't live here.
He doesn't?
Yeah. The house is on the market. So
It's on the. It's like the most expensive house in LA, right?
Yeah. Well, one of them. Yeah.
Okay, nice, man. Is there a lot of money out here?
Yeah, there is.
There is. Who lived here?
I can't say.
You can't say. It's
Yeah.
cool. Was it like a famous person or?
Just a billionaire.
Billionaire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Architect.
Yeah. All right, you guys. So at least we can get the security to talk to us, you man. Like I said, guys, that's the most expensive house that is out here in Beverly Hills, 178 million. And like you said, man, there's so much money out there. Look, a billionaire lived there. So we know that we're in the right place. We just got to keep moving to go find this next pocket out here, to go find where the billionaires are at, you guys. Come on. All right, you guys. So as you can see, look, we're up in the Hidden Hills right now, and these are two gated houses. We saw movement up at the top of the driveway from a car that was headed down. I think it was like a Tesla or something like that. But anyways, it's like a 200-foot driveway. They've got like 50-foot bushes out front. So we're gonna wait, see if we can get the car as it's coming out, and go see if we can talk to this mogul out here in Beverly Hills, you guys. Come on. Awesome, man. Question for you, sir. Do you live here?
I do.
And how did you get rich?
First of all, how'd you find my house?
I'm going all over Beverly Hills asking beautiful homeowners how they got rich for the younger generation. I wanted to know what you did to be able to afford this place.
I started a technology company 25 years ago, and we invented a new way to serve web traffic. And today the company serves around 30% of the web traffic, has $4 billion in annual revenue, and has 10,000 employees around the world.
And I go all over the world interviewing billionaires and the most successful people to help the younger generation. Can I get a minute with you for the channel real quick?
Sure.
At your business, what was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
Well, $4 billion are the revenues today. Our company during the dot-com boom was worth $35 billion.
What was your turning point getting into the tech industry?
I'd always wanted to be a founder of a company. I looked at the tech industry in 1996. I saw all these people start tech companies on the cover of Business Week, and I thought, you know what? I want to do that. Instead of going back to business class, I'm just going to start a company. I left an amazing job working for Ford 400 guy, left $3 million of stock options on the table to take a risk, bet on myself. Started a company in Boston, no funding, no CEO, and commuting 3,000 miles to work every week.
Do you think everybody's built for entrepreneurship?
I do not. I think that it really takes a lot, and people think it's very, very sexy, but it really takes long hours, 100 hours a week if you're going to do it right. And a lot of people just don't want to make the sacrifice. You can learn to be an entrepreneur, but not everyone has what it takes.
What does the future of tech look like over the next 1 to 2 years?
It's all AI, period, end of story.
Why?
It helps make our life more efficient, easier. I stopped going to Google now. I use ChatGPT all day long, probably do 100 searches. It's increased my efficiency probably 3 or 4 hours a day.
Do you think if business owners aren't leveraging AI, they're going to get left behind?
I do. The key to AI is knowing how to use it. You can go all day long, you can do simple searches, but you really have to educate yourself on the searches, what you're looking for, and just keep drilling down for what you're looking for. It's an amazing tool, but people should educate themselves, even take classes today on how to most effectively use it to improve their businesses.
Now, talk to me about going from being an employee at a Fortune 500 company to building that business. What was that first kind of actionable step that you took to kind of, put that business together?
At the end of the day, some people have golden handcuffs, they have an amazing job, and there's no better person in the world to bet on than you.
Did you have people that doubted you?
Yeah, people said I was absolutely nuts. Why would I leave this amazing job, making lots of money, $3 million of stock option on the table, to go start an unfunded, unproven company with unproven technology 3,000 miles away? People said I was absolutely nuts.
When did you start your first business?
In college, I sold t-shirts door to door at University of Michigan. I went to every single room, got kicked out of every single dorm, every single hall. Cold calling is one of the best skills, most useful skills anyone can ever have.
How old are you now?
I'm 57.
But you learned how to sell when you were in college.
I did learn how to sell when I was in college. There's nothing better at the end of the day than getting rejected to your face over and over and over again, because the first 100 tries you get a no. On the 100th yes, you say, okay, I forgot about the first 99 no's.
In the tech industry, it's competitive. Like, have you ever hit a big competition?
Sure. When you start a company, you look around and say, okay, are these companies going to copy you? And they have all the resources in the world. I mean, Microsoft was a $50 billion company at the time, and we had just raised $12 million right out of the gate. You look at the odds and say, okay, well, screw the odds. We're going to go get it.
Can you tell me a crazy business story?
I came out to LA, had $3,000 in the bank, lost my job after 5.5 weeks here, and just said, gosh, this is terrible. So I wrote letters to a whole bunch of people. I researched the top CEOs in Los Angeles. I wrote wrote 300 letters. Each one took 5 hours to write. And everyone said, these people are never going to meet with you. Your idea is stupid, total waste of time. And you know what? You got to trust your gut. At the end of the day, these letters made a huge difference. I got 80 meetings out of 300, and one of them landed my dream job, working for one of the most successful business people on the planet.
I want to recall, though, one of those conversations that you had from taking a lot of those super successful people out to lunch, having those meetings. Was there a nugget or a wisdom, a piece of business advice that you received that kind of always stuck with you to this day?
1,000,000%. I'd gone through, I had written all these letters, I got all these meetings, CEO of Disney, Viacom, CEOs of public companies. And then I go to Detroit and I meet this guy, and he said to me, what's happening in these meetings? And he said, well, what do you mean? He said, do you ask for a job? And I said, no. And he asked me, why not? I said, I don't know. They're meeting me and I feel bad they're taking their time. And he said, Randy, let me tell you something. I sold life insurance for a living. People don't wake up and say, I need life insurance today. He said, you got to ask for the order. And it just went. The bell went off in my head and I asked for the order and I got a few orders and I took the best job.
Closed mouth does not get fed.
Closed mouth does not get fed. You got to go get it.
How important have relationships been to you throughout your career?
Relationships are critical. You have to build relationships long term. You got to start very young and you got to stay in contact with people. Every 6 months or so, send them a letter, send them a note. Hey, how are you? Just thinking about you. And some of the most successful businessmen I know, they'll take an hour a week and do nothing but just pick up the phone, send notes and say, hey, how you doing? Just want to see what's going on. One of the other critical things that I think a lot of people miss, they're on these phone calls, emails, and something that nobody does at the end of it. Even if you want something from them, you should always end a meeting saying, what are you doing that I can help you with? Nearly nobody does that. And when I ask that question, everyone says, gosh, no one's ever asked that before.
So in other words, you got to look to add value to them.
You always should look to add value to somebody. If you want to build a relationship, it's not a one-way street. So even if you're asking somebody for something, you should ask them how you can help them in return. That's how a lot of relationships are built. It's been critical of my career.
That's game right there.
It's game changing.
Who's the richest person you've ever met?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs? What did Steve Jobs teach you?
Nothing. Apple was one of our first customers and was our biggest customer. And he was at a table at a hotel that I was staying at far away with his family. And my wife said, Steve Jobs over there, you going to go talk to him? I said, no, why not? He's with his family. And she said, the old Randy would have. So I was up out of my chair. I walked over there. The family's sitting there. No one looked up at me. And I said, excuse me, Mr. Jobs. He looked up like this. And I introduced myself. And I told him the company that I founded, they were our biggest customer. And he looked at me and he said, you must have made a lot of money. It was one of the most awkward things in the world. And I said, yes, I did okay. Then I said, I loved your graduation speech at Stanford. Very motivating. He nodded. Thank you. He looked away and I was done. I turned around and walked back to my table.
What was your superpower in business?
My superpower in business is tenacity.
They don't teach that, though.
They don't teach that in school, no.
So you were born with that, though?
I was born with, I stuttered, I was bullied as a kid, and I had to learn a new way to speak, and every day I practiced my speech for 2 hours a night, and at the end of the day, I saw the results.
And so you had people that doubted you because of that, because of your speaking ability?
Oh, they doubted me, they made fun of me, they called me. At the end of the day, I said, all right, well, I'm none of those things, but one day, we'll see.
At the end of the day, you co-founded $1 billion company.
$12 billion company.
Wow. How old are you now?
57.
What's your name?
Randall Kaplan.
Randall, if me and you died tomorrow and you had one more message to leave with the younger generation, what would that be?
Never give up. Bet on yourself. Persistence rules the day. Prepare more than anybody else. I call it extreme preparation. You spend 25,000 hours from kindergarten through college, and yet most people spend only 15 to 30 minutes preparing for a job interview that will largely determine how they live.
You got amazing advice, sir.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for your time, and I
You're
really
amazing.
appreciate that. All right, you guys, so we got him. We get him to stop and get out of the car right outside of his compound, and this man built a company that is now valued at $12 billion. I think he said his name was like Randall Kaplan or something like that, and he just gave us a beautiful interview, man. My big